Alright guys, so it's several days after that last video. It is the 8th of January now. And all these guys are starting to leaf out here, as you can see. I got all these little buds. They were already little green buds wanting to swell last time I showed you. But now those little green buds are starting to open up. I showed you that Martinica ramata right there. The leaves are starting to come out. Little Smith fig wants to grow some figs. Everything is starting to wake up, and I need to get these guys out of here and put them into a similar situation as these guys, because I need to be able to water. You see the light coming down is starting to really dry up this bark, and although I'm spraying it with water, it's like a daily, actually twice daily kind of situation right now. And I want to make sure that down below in the bottoms of these cups, these guys aren't sucking up all the water and it's just dry bark down there, because now that these leaves are starting to want to come out, we're going to have to start watering. Now I'm not going to water yet because the leaves aren't all the way out and these guys aren't losing much moisture, but let's get these guys out of here and we'll talk about that here. When the morning there it is, guys. Everything's all done. I got all these guys pulled out of that tote and rinsed off the cups. The one thing I did different this time was I just lightly, with the tap water in the sink, kind of rinsed some water over these guys. They're not nearly as heavy. Last time I waterlogged them thinking I'll give them a good drink and then I won't have to water them for a while, and it just didn't work. So you can see the trails of water kind of going through there, but some of these areas still are kind of untouched. But I'm thinking that water that I put on will kind of even out throughout as the bark kind of soaks up whatever it didn't get. Anyway, I watered them much more lightly this time. Hopefully this works good. You can see this method just works like a champ, man. I mean, look at that. There's that one, the Martinica ramata. I mean, that sucker just took off like crazy. Tons of roots in all four of these. It's crazy, man, how well these things are rooted in here. I really love this one. It's a neat looking little tree right there with the two branches coming up. Tons and tons of fat roots throughout that cup. And I think if I can just not water them too much, they're going to do well. So we just had a post this morning, or depending on when I post this video, the other day, and she had a really cool looking pic of all of her figs that were starting to get some top growth, but she was wondering how come there's no roots and how do I get the roots to grow on these things? I'm getting all this top growth but no roots. So I just thought I'd go over the three things, the 3 points or tricks or ideas or whatever you want to call them, that I really go by to propagate these figs. First of all, figs are hardwood cuttings. You don't need to put any kind of a humidity bin or plastic bags over top of them. So the number one thing is keep them uncovered. Number two, use bottom heat. They're hardwood cuttings, so they're not going to root quite as readily as softwood cuttings unless you have some form of heat to gently coax them on. They'll root without bottom heat, but it's going to take a little bit longer. Now, some people bring them into their house and it's 70 degrees in the house, and so they'll root a little bit faster, but you'll get even better results if you put the bottom heat on and just leave the tops open to air. The third thing is patience. You just have to have patience. So these guys right here took a month to get to the, actually it's, what was it, December 1st that I put all these guys in the bark, and here we are now today, a month later. Of course, the one I pull up doesn't have roots, but most of them look about like that, and that's after a month. Some of them a little more, some of them a little less, but you just have to have patience. Don't be trying to pull them out every day and look at them. Stick them in the soil, and I'm talking just lightly moistened soil. You don't want it soaking wet. Stick them in the soil. Don't cover them. Use bottom heat, and just patience. Just wait. Don't even check them for a month, and you will have all kinds of success. Here we are now. We've got these guys rooted on. Tons of roots, as I've showed you before in previous videos. And really hardly any top growth. You can see they're just starting to leaf out. Just barely starting to leaf out. But they've already got all kinds of roots to support those leaves. So those are my 3 tips, or my 3 tricks to propagate these figs. And of course there's a million other little things that you can do to try and make it better, but those are the 3 big important ones. So I hope you guys like that. I hope you like watching these little fig videos. I like making them. It's winter time. Not much else going on right now. If you'd like to, hit the like button right down below. Subscribe if you want to follow along. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.
When the morning